Evening, everyone. How is everyone? There's Scotty on Famous straight in. Just waiting to find Chow. Just waiting for the one and only Madame Storm. Luckily, there's only one of her in the world because one more than one would be slightly disturbing. Hang on 1 minute. Let me find her. Here she is. Any second now. Where are you? Yay!
Hi.
How
How
are you?
are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I've just got if I wiggle a bit, it's because I've got a really fucking annoying
Oh,
puppy who
you're
shouldn't be.
breaking. You're breaking up.
Hang on a minute. I've got say hi. Hiya.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, he was outside. He's somehow got up here, which is why I might be bouncing up and down a bit. So could you just chill?
Okay.
Hang on a minute, James. Oh, don't worry.
Hello,
Fine. Just
hello,
keep still.
Sarah.
Can you hear
Hi,
me now?
Jodie. Yes, I can hear you well. Can you hear me well?
I am sorry, distracted. Last week it was mum. Now it's a puppy. Honestly.
Can I just say, love, mum, love, love, love. Hey, Scotty. Hey,
She's
girl.
she's there. She was the first one in. Your number one fan.
I'm her
But,
number one fan too.
but anyway, just for so Madame Storm, basically founder of the Strut classes, seen on 10 Years Younger TV, just literally the queen of just owning it, the
Thank you.
hero, but genuinely owning it, sexuality
Thank you.
wise, and your sexual confidence. And yeah, just an absolute hero when it comes to KK. So does lots of work.
Oh, Emma.
Um,
Thank you
and
so much.
so yeah, so those that don't know her, I mean, anything to do with sexual confidence and body positivity and everything like that, she is the go-to. So thank you very much for joining us.
Oh, you're
Oh,
breaking up again.
buffering. Can you hear me now? Is
You're buffering. You're buffering.
that right?
Yeah.
Perfect. So just quickly, well, not quickly. I love a story. Start at the beginning because at the end of the day, anyone really that works in the adult industry and the sex world, it's not something that, when you grow up, especially as a girl, you go, oh, when I grow up, I'm going to be this.
Mm-hmm.
So what's your story? How did you get into, because also you have a dominatrix background as well. So
Yes. Yes.
just explain it. Just explain a bit about the story behind Madame Storm.
Okay. So actually, Emma, I remember being really young, and I don't know the lady's name, but do you remember many years ago that there was a famous woman who had escorts and they lived in a massive mansion and she got arrested?
Cynthia Payne.
Is that her name? All
Is
I
it
remember
Cynthia?
is that I was a young girl, very, very young, and I was thinking, oh my God, that is so amazing. So I think
Yeah.
subconsciously, even back then, I was like, yes, girl, get your money. I was like, I love that. Just being able to be okay with your desires and having ownership over your body, right? Because women who work in the sex industry, we have to have the mindset where we don't care how others judge us. It's about
Yeah.
how you view yourself. And as you know, Emma, self-judgment is one of the main things that people do with struggling with confidence. I just find so many of us judge ourselves in a negative way. And I believe that once you free yourself from self-judgment, you just allow yourself to grow, because that's what life is about, just having these amazing experiences. But unfortunately, growing up in families, having parents, society that enforce their values and their beliefs onto you, then you grow up with them.
Yeah.
So I really encourage people, once you get to a certain age, to look beyond that and look for your own values and look for your own beliefs and what feels true to yourself. So sorry, slightly going off topic. I like to preach, honey.
Preach away, honestly, go for it.
But how I became a dominatrix is a very personal story for me, because I was bullied severely. I don't really like the word bully, but I take ownership of it because, I did fight back. Coming from a Black Caribbean household, we were taught You have to stand up for yourself. Don't come back home telling me you got into a beat down and you didn't do nothing. So I was raised to be a strong, independent woman from a very, very young age. And going through school, I was always the tallest girl, always stood out, had my own identity from a very young age, and others felt intimidated by that, hence the bullying. So I ended up going to like 7 different schools. I even went to school in Barbados because my mum was really worried for my safety. You know, I literally had to fight most days at school. So growing up, being this tall woman, having this energy about myself, I always had this sort of sass and this sort of walk about myself. So once I got into finding out about the BDSM world, I was like, oh my God, there's a place where I'm celebrated for being different.
Yeah.
You know, there's this place where I'm celebrated for being tall and for being confident and for being powerful. And it really gave me the space to grow, like literally. Like it was like, yes, I was made for this world, you know? And it just allowed me to really express my sexuality and to also tap into my feminine divine energy, which is magic, you know? I learned just by the way you present yourself, right? Just your tonality, the way you walk into a room, the way you sit on a throne says a lot without you having to speak. And that's what I teach my women, right? Like your body language, your energy speaks before you do. So becoming a dominatrix was a profound moment in my life. It really, really was.
Hang on, sorry, dog's shaking in front of me. Bob, seriously, fuck off, man. The screen shakes. It's not me playing with myself. It's because of the bloody.
Listen, girl, we're in a safe space, okay? If you want to play, I mean.
So sorry, kids are in bed. I'm going to blame the dog. No one can see. No one can see. Is it the dog? Is it not the dog?
Love it, love it, love it.
And how tall are you?
So
how tall are you?
I'm 5'11".
Oh, I'm an inch taller than you. I get it though.
No way!
Exactly the same.
Oh my God.
I was called the big yellow bird. Do you remember the big yellow bird? I can't remember what.
Yeah.
And there was the big green giant that was, I think it was on food. I can't remember what corn. It was sweet corn. It was the big green giant.
Oh,
sexy, isn't it?
Yeah.
And our school uniform was green, and I was just people called me the big green.
Holy shit!
This big yellow bird that was in it. But we own it now.
It's fun. It's funny that. Oh hell yeah! You know, I'm like, I look back at it now, and I'm like, everything that I was bullied for is what I'm celebrated for now. Yeah. You know, I remember, Emma, like wanting to be like petite and to be short, and you know, and adults have to be very aware of the messages they give young people. I was always told, stand at the back, you know, like don't take up too much space. And that is why I'm so passionate about my women taking up space. I'm like, yeah, you stand tall. Doesn't matter what your height is, doesn't matter what your shape is, you own your fucking space. You have the right to be here. So own it. Because throughout my whole life, I was told, oh, you're a bit too loud, or you're a bit too intimidating, or you're a bit too tall. Right? Yeah. Stand at the back.
Really opinionated. Yeah. I always got opinionated. I'm like, I went out with a guy, well, it was for like 6 weeks. I went out with him and he couldn't get it up. And I was really down. I was like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. He kept me arsey. And after like 6 weeks, he said, I think my penis needs a less opinionated woman. I was like, wow, okay. That's strong.
Oh, okay. I mean, more to the opinions, but damn.
Yeah, exactly. But luckily, I was older. It was like early 30s, I think. Had it been in my 20s, I would have taken it really personally. But I was able to go, do you know what? This is his problem, you know?
Yeah. And that's the thing, isn't it, Emma? When we're young women, I feel like so many women feel bad about not feeling powerful in sexual situations when they were younger. And it's like we have to be compassionate towards ourselves because we're not taught to have an opinion. We're told that, oh, if you have an opinion or we say something, then, you know, oh, you're being a bitch. Like anything that's associated with a strong woman is she thinks she's too nice, or she's a bitch, or she's aggressive, right? So when we're young, we really don't know our voices yet, because we're conditioned so much not to give our opinions. So we kind of just lay there and take the dick. Like, I remember being a young girl and having sex and not enjoying it and not feeling like I had the voice to say, oh, actually, I don't like this. Or even to be able to, actually, I'm not enjoying this anymore. Can we stop? And I really do feel like, you know, any of my ladies and men who are on this live, like, I really do encourage you to have this conversation with your children. It's not, you know, of course, about consent, understanding what consent is, but also teaching them that it's okay to voice what you want and what your desires are. It's okay, you know, because having sex and not enjoying it is so fucking disempowering. And I've been there many of times.
And it's amazing, isn't it, how many years you just do it, you just put up with it, and then it's so ingrained, isn't it, that that's when you go, well, oh, you put up with it for so long, so how can you possibly have an opinion, have a voice? And a lot of what, you know, questions we get asked, and actually some of the people who ask questions for you, is how do you speak up? How do you, if you've been in a relationship and you put up with stuff and you don't want to, how do you bring it up without offending the other person? Like, someone asked, how do you tell a partner you don't enjoy how they give you oral when you've been for like a few years already?
Yeah, absolutely. I get that question quite a lot. How do I tell the person without upsetting them or even ruining the play? I would always advise that when you're speaking to your lover or your partner, start off by telling them what you do like. Yeah. Okay. So, for example, for that question, baby, you know, I really do love that you want to worship me in that way. However, I would like to, you know, show you exactly how I like it. Like, you can make it fun. It doesn't have to be so serious, you know. And what I really love doing is teaching someone whilst we're having sex. But you can only do that once you get comfortable, right? Because you have to be comfortable with giving yourself permission to enjoy yourself. So once you give yourself permission to enjoy yourself, then telling someone or teaching someone becomes fun. It becomes part of the play. But at the beginning, just get used to having that conversation with your partner. Your partner is with you. You should be in a safe space with your partner. You should be able to communicate openly and effective with your partner, but always start off with a compliment. So, baby, I love the way that you kiss my neck, but, you know, I'd love if you just bit it once in a while. Yeah. Because, you know, I love when you kiss, you know, my pussy, my vagina, my yoni, my vortex, however you refer to it. But, you know, I would really love it if you just slowed it down a bit, or I'd really love it if you just spit it up a bit. Yeah. Oh, but yeah, I fucking fast. Yeah. Don't get me started. I was having a conversation with my girlfriend with men and nipples. Men, our nipples are attached to our breasts. Okay, they're sensitive. Unless your girlfriend likes that, then cool. But they're sensitive. Take your time. Get to know your partner's body, because having great sex for me personally is when the two people come together and they connect and they want to they want to give you that sexual energy, that sexual pleasure. They take pleasure out of making you feel good. So choosing the right partner as well is very, very important. I mean, I've coached some ladies, Emma, who have ended up having to leave a relationship because they've actually realized that the whole relationship is very disempowering. Because when a man or a woman is intimate with one another, it should be a balance. It shouldn't, that person, and us women, we know when a man or a woman is just having sex for themselves. Yeah. Do you know what I mean by that?
Oh, yeah, no, completely. You're just sort of thinking, well, this isn't about me. None of this is about me. It's just they're getting to the end point. And that's a big problem, isn't it, with sex? As a lot of people have said it on the chats we've done, is it's so ingrained in us that sex is a penis in a vagina and the end point is the man coming. And that's when a lot of people, when they're in it, they're not in the moment. They're thinking, oh, well, for this to be a good sex session, then the guy's got to come. And so we've got to get to that point. Otherwise, you know, I haven't pleased him. And you know what I mean? It's just such an packaging, isn't it, in us, especially as women, that that's what we're there to do, that it takes unraveling, doesn't it, just to kind of reprogram.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'd like to just go back on what you've just touched on, is about presence. A lot of women who I coach for sexual confidence, they're in their heads a lot. Oh, do I look right? Is he enjoying it? Does my body look right? You're not present. Once you become present, your body relaxes. All right, ladies? Just be present in that moment, because when you're present in that moment and you're able to just breathe and allow the energy to flow through your body, you're then able to connect. And that's when you start to enjoy the moment, right?
Yeah.
Like if you're in your head all the time thinking stuff, then you're just disconnected. Unless it's really shit sex and, you know, you're thinking about what you're going to have for dinner, then, you know.
Yeah, sometimes there's no hope. There's just no hope. But on that being present, is that's the same as like mindful sex, which is, you know, we're seeing more and more stuff written about that, and people talking about mindful sex. A bit like in the same way, mindfulness is huge outside of sex, for everyday life, and just being present.
Yeah.
What are your tips on that? Because I mean, like, for example, I know my mind goes at 3,000 miles per hour and just goes in to a to-do list. It's like having a massage. I come up more stressed after a massage, a normal massage, than I do going into it, because I'm just lying there with my to-do list going. So yeah, I mean, what that to be in the present.
So there's two questions in that I'd like to answer. Is when you're going in, literally, I always say this, is like bedroom to boardroom. Sexual confidence transfers over to the real world, outside the bedroom, into everyday life, right? Being present and knowing your intent are the two key things. Write it down. Present.
Intent.
Okay? So when you're going to seduce someone, when you're going to make love with someone, when you're going to fuck, have sex, however you want to put it, what is your intent? How do you want to feel? First and foremost, how do you want to feel? Secondly, how do you want your partner to feel? It's just like if you're just going out on the road and you don't really know where you're going, you're going to just walk anywhere, right? It's the same with sex. It's the same with owning a business. As you well know, Emma, being a successful businesswoman, that you had an intent for killing kittens. You were very clear in your mind what you wanted to project, your brand, for example.
Yeah.
No different when you're having sex with your body language. How do you want to project yourself to that partner, to your lover, right? And I would say being present before having sex, especially if you're a lady or a guy who feels like they have low self-esteem, get used to seeing yourself naked. Look at your body. I do lots of body worship with my clients. Touch yourself seductively. See how your body moves. Put on some sexy music and then tell yourself how beautiful you are. Tell yourself how sexy you are. And you can do this before your guy comes over or before you go into bed with him if you live together. Have a shower. You know, when you're soaping up, you're like, I'm so beautiful. I'm so sexy. And get your mind and your body ready and tell yourself that I give myself permission to be present in this moment. I free myself from self-judgment. Okay? What you say to yourself is extremely powerful. So don't be afraid of speaking positively to yourself. Because I find this a lot, Emma. We're so used to saying negative things about ourselves. It's like it's almost normal to say negative things about ourselves. I had a session the other day with my client and she goes, oh, you know, Madam Storm, like I really want to say these positive affirmations, but I don't want to come across being cocky or vain, you know, because that's what they tell us, isn't it, Emma?
Yeah.
Oh, if you're a woman who says, I'm beautiful, oh, she thinks she's too nice. And I told her, the first relationship you get into is with yourself. The same way that you don't want a partner to cheat on you, don't cheat on yourself. The same way that your love language could be powerful affirmations from your partner, telling you you're beautiful, telling you you're sexy, do that to yourself. The first relationship you have is with yourself. So get used to telling yourself how beautiful you are, how divine you are, how sexy you are. It doesn't mean that you're going to become an asshole. You only become an asshole when you start thinking you're better than other people. Because the only person you need to be better than is the person that looks you back in the mirror.
Yeah. Well, it's self-compassion, isn't it? Because it's not, you hear that a lot. you know, you hear that a lot in like business as well now, and like women in business is having that, and just in life in general is having that, you know, how you treat yourself, how you know what I mean? It's like you treat others, other people in one way, but then you just beat the shit out of yourself.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
that self-compassion across the board, isn't it? On everything. Not much for you, you are not enough. Exactly. Owning it.
Yeah, just owning your fabulosity. Like, damn. Like, if you're feeling sassy, just own it. Be like, yes, I look fly. Like, when I got my hair braided, I was like, woo! I was like, woo!
It does. It looks good. It looks good. I love it.
Thank you, thank you. I've got it real long, honey, to my ass. When I was in the salon, you know, my black sisters would know that you have to go to an African lady to get your hair gripped if your hair is short. So I went to an African hair salon to grip it, and it was like up to like just here, just below my boobs. And she goes, "Oh no, that's okay." I said, "No, auntie, I want it to my body."
I love that. Yeah, auntie. Yeah. So when you go to the salon, do you just like strut in there and own it and sit down and then just advise everyone? Do you just give them an hour therapy session while you get your hair done?
Braided. Do you know what? Someone else asked me that, and because what I'm doing, I'm so aligned in my purpose, and I truly love what I do. And as much as women message me daily saying how much I've empowered them, it's an exchange of energy.
Yeah.
It's an exchange of energy. When I empower someone else, they empower me. You know, like namaste. I see the power in you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I see
it takes, and people don't realize that, is it? It's that the small acts of kindness and the small, just like, I'm always, if I walk past someone that, you know, I like their coat or I like their smell, I'm always go, "Oh, where's your perfume from?" And
yeah.
things, isn't it? And the odd, you know, the odd time, the very rare time, you know, a random person has done that to me, like on a train, or, you know, or it sets you up for the whole day, feeling like, absolutely, you know, someone asked me where my perfume's from and I smell nice, and that's it. I'm owning it today, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's really little things that's so easy to do.
And just smile. Just smiling at someone can make someone's day. I've had so many different chats with girls, like you say, you know, about perfume. And if you see a woman walking down the road, ladies, say, "Girl, you look good." Like, give compliments. I guarantee you. In fact, that is your homework. Okay? I want you to go out and compliment someone.
Yeah, try to do it every day homework. Just go up to a random person and just tell them something good.
Yeah,
and you don't know what you're going to do. You set them up for the day. It might make them make a decision that they would never have made, that then changes the course of what they were going to do, and suddenly you change someone's life forever. You know what I mean? You don't know how that little thing is going to do it, do you?
Like, each and every one of us are influencers. Everything that we say and do influences someone else. So just be kind. You know, be kind and just share the love. You know, share the love.
Someone's just asked about, hang on, I can't, where is it? Oh yeah, you covered it briefly, tips on sexual communication, just being able to have chats, just, you know.
So there's two ways that you can do it. Okay, so let's go back a couple of steps. First and foremost, write down what you want. Because when you're communicating with your partner, you want to be clear. All right, and this will give you the confidence to convey exactly what you want to say, and you can go over it, kind of like a mini script. Write down exactly what you want to say, but I encourage you to always give a compliment before telling the person what you want. So, for example, "I love the way you kiss me. However," okay, don't use but is saying you're kind of dismissing it. However, use however. "I would really love if we could explore this," and give your partner that space to come on that journey with you, right? "Let's explore this together." Or, you know, "Baby, I'm really into some like kinks. Can we explore this together?" Your partner's going to love that. All right. If you want better head, "Babes, I'd really love us to explore how we can have better oral sex." Woo! Now, if a man said to me, "I would love for us to explore how we can have better oral sex," I think my panties, if I was wearing any, would just get wet.
fall off.
Yeah. Okay, so don't be afraid. Like,
yeah.
yeah, don't be afraid. Honestly, your partner wants to give you good sex. And if your partner doesn't want to give you good sex, then you really have to reevaluate if that partner is for you. So step one, write down what you want to say. Make sure you start off with compliments. Step two, communicate outside the bedroom first. Just say to them, baby, I'd really love for us to talk. I'd really like to share some of my desires with you. Okay? Make it soft. Make it very, very soft. All right? So make sure that none of you are stressed. It's not a long day. You're not irritated. You've had a nice day to get together. Set up the scene. Okay? And remember your intent. What do I want to get out of this conversation? That is key. What do I want to get out of this conversation? Your intent should be, after this conversation, you want to have better head, right? So speak with that energy to your partner, and you should get a good positive response. And you know your partner better than I know your partner. I don't even know your partner, right? So you know exactly how to speak to your lover or your husband. But those tips and advice that I've just given you will work. It was a nice introduction for you both to start the conversation.
Nice. And what, because the one, a big issue for a lot of females and guys, but particularly females, because you've had this, as we mentioned earlier, the ingrained messaging of growing up and how sex ed is at school and how you come out, and to be able to kind of switch off those thoughts and overcome those thoughts of the slut shaming and the kind of the being made to feel dirty and guilty and even talking about sex. And I know a lot of girls who it's still a bit of a secret, and it's just this, they need the reprogramming in them, and they think they're giving the permission on that. There's a lot of women out there, especially kind of probably 30 plus type girls, because a lot of the younger ones have come through and it is much more equal and balanced. And you get women in their 30s and 40s, and you're coming through with really ingrained kind of you can't wear that, you can't do that, you can't sleep with more than one person, you know what I mean? It's just that can't that goes on.
My best advice would be, if you have disempowering beliefs towards sex, seek professional help and guidance. So many of us will sit with this and be ashamed or be embarrassed. If you've gone throughout 20 years of thinking and feeling a certain way, we have to put the work in. We have to, in order to replace your news story. So there's an exercise that me and Scotty Unfamous do in our Ms. workshops. And as you know, she's an amazing writer. So we do this exercise where we get them to write a nice erotica piece. Yeah. To allow them to get all their fantasies out. You can be whoever you want to be. You can explore your sexuality. Write it down. Start using your imagination, because your imagination is key. Your imagination is what's going to liberate you. But if you do have really deep-rooted beliefs and faith, because look, Emma, I've coached women who come from really strong Catholic backgrounds, Muslim women. Okay, these are deep. We can't take this lightly. These are deep, deep connection with identity, with your faith, with your religion. So in order for us to recreate your identity, you have to do that in a safe space, and you have to do that with a professional, whether that's with someone like myself, whether you seek therapy, whether you go and see a counselor. It's really important that you take the time out and you do the work properly, because then that way it will last much, much longer.
Yeah, hang on a minute. I'm just putting this one. What's this one? Someone said,
I'm also tall, 5'11". People often comment on my height, and I never really know how to respond to the, oh, you're tall. I fucking hate that. It's like, do you know what I say? Miss Moore. When people say, oh my God, you're so tall, I say, no, honey, you're short. And it shuts them right up. I fucking hate that. Do you get that, Emma?
I get
It's
a
so
lot,
annoying.
I've got some friends, you know, I laugh it off because I'm 42 years old, but I have some friends and they're normal, 5'6", 5'7", and whenever I'm in pictures with them, I'm known as Gandalf. So we have these pictures and it's like, oh, here's Gandalf. And it's fine because I'm old enough and big enough and, you know, ugly enough, secure enough not to give a shit. But, you know what I mean? It's stuff like that that actually, you just think of that, it's, when you have it a lot, that inbuilt in you that you are bigger. That's the thing, isn't it? So when you then have a big personality and a big confidence, it's sort of, I know I've got a lot better at not feeling guilty for thinking that I'm overbearing or hushing my voice a bit. Believe it or not, I did hush it a bit. But that kind of, am I in a group and I'm being loud and obnoxious and I'm the big one type of thing. Something you do have to definitely.
Yeah, look, this is why I created my Strut Masterclass. Like I told you, I went to 7 different schools. I was always the tallest girl. Oh, you can't wear heels, you're too tall. As you can see now, I wear my 6-inch heels, honey.
I love heels.
I love them. So to that lady who just sent that message, I just want to say, baby girl, you have to be comfortable with yourself. You have to be comfortable with yourself. My favorite affirmation for that is, I am here. Okay? I am here means I give myself permission not only to be seen, but to be heard. Okay? Your confidence and your presence, if it makes other people feel uncomfortable, then they need to go to another room. Second of all, what other people think of you is none of your business. Third of all, when people make comments like that, they say it out of their own insecurity. Fourthly, girl, this is my topic because, you know, I'm 5'11". I'm like, let's go, okay?
Exactly. You're talking to giraffes right now.
Yeah, like fourthly, okay? You know, I teach on erotic capital. So erotic capital is something like, in layman terms, someone like Beyonce. She uses her erotic capital, the way she looks, her sexiness, right? So she uses that backed up with her talent. It's been scientifically proven that taller women have more erotic capital. So baby girl, you own your space, you stand up nice and tall with your shoulders back, core engaged, and your boobies up, and you give yourself permission to be here. It's your God-given right. It's your birthright, okay? Don't shrink yourself to make other people feel comfortable. And I get it. When I walk into a room, and sometimes, Emma, I don't want to be seen. Sometimes I just want to slide in.
Oh, I get that. You have those days, don't you, where you just want to go, and I'm like, a bit of social anxiety. I just want to be in a little ball in the corner of a room, and I think I'm a 6-foot blonde walking into a room that's going to be tricky.
Yeah. Yeah, because other people are going to feel uncomfortable with your presence. They're going to feel uncomfortable with your confidence. That is not your business. It's not. It isn't. And I get it. Honestly, I get it every single day. Like, even doing something as simple as going into Tesco's. I get it. But you know what, baby? I am me. I'm not 5'5". I am 5'11". I have big boobs. Yes, I did pay for them. So.
In them. Exactly.
Yeah. So I wanted them to be seen, okay? You know, and I do have hips and I do have arse. You know, I am a woman. That's it. We are women. Whether you're tall, short, thick, slim, it doesn't matter. You have to own who you are, period. I remember someone said to me like a week ago, Emma, they were like, oh, you know, I can see your nipples. I'm like, so did you not know that breasts come with nipples?
Yeah, and what's your point?
Like what? Oh my God. If you ever see the looks I get, and from women, Emma, when I don't wear a bra, it's like they look at me.
That's part of the problem. Women need to be nicer. Just not, I mean, we've had shit in the last week, business-wise and stuff. And actually, most of the crap like I've had on Twitter and LinkedIn trolls and stuff have been other women claiming to be feminist, going, you're packaging, you're just nothing but a pimp. You're packaging up, claiming it's female empowerment, but it's just, any woman prancing around in their underwear is just for this. You're sexualizing your members, and you're like, and luckily what's been great, we've had, because it reminded me of like 15 years ago when we launched, and no one would, there would be no one loud enough or confident enough to members wise come out and publicly defend us. And I tell you what, the amount of members who have just publicly come out and gone, I've literally I've been able to stand back and just watch members just shut everyone down, kind of thing. Yeah,
that's the problem, Emma. See, this whole feminine movement, feminists having opinions, saying, a woman who is an escort, she's abusing herself, or someone like you're pimping women out. Who told you that we were these delicate motherfucking flowers? If I want to get paid for sucking dick, that is
my say. It's a choice. And if women, if strippers, lap dancing clubs, pit lane girls, if all these women, if they are choosing to do it and they feel empowered to do it, then it's their choice. If you want to be a stay-at-home mom, if you want to be a multimillionaire entrepreneur, if it is your choice, and that's my argument. And actually, what gets me is, and I say to these women, you are no better than the misogynist pricks that we're trying to.
Absolutely, that's what blows my mind. It literally blows my mind. I love what you said, Emma. Like, female, for me, true female. Scotty, what are you laughing at? Me saying sucking dick. You dirty gal. True female empowerment to me, right, Emma, is allowing that individual to be who they want.
Exactly.
Okay? Whether you want to be a stay-at-home mom, whether you just want to be a wife, whether you just want to be a stripper. Like, do what feels good for you. Like,
and it's your choice. Exactly.
Yeah, who
That's
am I?
That's feminism, isn't it? It's like
exactly
us to have our choices and own them, and that's it. So that's what gets these other women. It's like, well, you're not allowing us choices. You're dictating and telling us what we can and can't do, which is
telling us what a woman is. Isn't
it,
Emma? It's almost like they say, no, you're not really a female. You're not really here for female empowerment if you're doing such and such. Who the fuck's told you that you are the person to tell us what female empowerment is? Like, who am I? Even me as an individual, who am I to tell another woman what she's doing is disempowering to her? No. But we're not talking about, listen, ladies and gents, we are not talking about individuals who go into any sort of situation because they're feeling disempowered inside. Yeah, because I've been there where I've tried to use sex to empower me. We're not talking about that. I am not talking about that. They're two separate things. We are talking about women and men who are assured of who they are. They're confident in who they are. They love sex. They love being sexy. And that's what they choose to do with their lives. Two separate things. And I think a lot of feminists like to get it all kind of like mixed up, and it's kind of like what's that saying? One shoe fits all? I don't know, something like that. So if one person is a stripper because, she was sexually abused, it doesn't mean that all strippers were sexually abused.
Yeah, exactly.
Some have really good backgrounds. It doesn't even matter. It really doesn't. Just leave people the fuck alone and mind your own business.
Exactly. And also there's always the yin and yang, and there's always going to be, a shitty end. There's a shitty end for, side to a lot of women who work in the city. I know more women who have been sexually harassed working in Parliament, working in banks, than they have working as a pit lane girl. But because they're respectable industries, it doesn't come in. So you're always going to get, a really nasty side to everything from escorts. There is a shitty side. There's the coercive control side of, everything and being forced into it and stuff. There's always going to be a side, but again, that's not their choice. For the ones where it's not their choice, where they're being forced into it, where, men are forcing them into it. Yeah, that is the side to it.
Yeah, of course.
So you get that in every industry. So
absolutely. I totally agree. And I have to say, like, I remember a few years back when I found Killing Kittens, and I was like, oh my God. And I remember telling her, I was like, oh my God, they're this like sexy, kind of really kind of like fancy places where you can have like sex parties and stuff. And then to actually work with you guys, I was like, holy shit. I have arrived, honey.
But you know, the feedback we get, the feedback we get from your classes are amazing. But also, you're doing.
So I didn't catch that, Emma. Say that again.
The feedback we get from your class, and they're always sold out. So you're the gift that just keeps giving for our workshops. But you're with Scotty. I'm famous. You're Miss Thang. Explain that. I can't say it properly. I don't. Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't come out of my mouth the way it comes out of your mouth. It's like if you don't dance properly, I'm like, no, I literally just look like a giraffe from stilts. It's not going to happen. But explain what you're doing. With Scotty.
Yeah. So as Black women, we found that growing up, I mean, and all women do experience this, but especially women of color, we tend to be more over sexualized. Yeah. And a lot of feedback that I got from women, even coming to me as a coach, they were very grateful that they could go and seek help from someone that looks like them. And we underestimate how powerful that is, to talk to someone who does look like you and that can resonate with you. It's just like another tall girl speaking to you. It's like you connect on that level, right? Because you both have the same experiences. Now, Emma, as a white woman, you will have a completely different experience in life to me as a Black woman. Yeah. We can't be naive to that fact. We can't be naive to that fact. So we created Ms. because we wanted to create a safe space for Black women to come together and share their common issues, to know they're not alone. The same thing like I did the Strut Masterclass, create a space for women to come together to see that they're not alone. Because sometimes you can feel very isolated. And this is why what you guys are doing with Killing Kittens is amazing. We need more of these spaces where we can speak, so other people can learn and grow and realize that you're not alone. So for us, for Ms., our mission is to empower these women to love their bodies, to start to really think about who they are and to recondition how they feel about themselves and how they feel about sex. Okay, especially when you're a young girl from the age of 12 being sexualized. I remember being 12 and having men who were like in their 20s, in their 30s, being inappropriate towards me. And it's not okay. And you don't realize that what they're doing to you is abuse. You don't realize until you get older. Yeah. We wanted to create that space for Black women to come together and to explore their sexuality and to understand their own issues towards sex. Because like Scotty has done amazing research on it, to understand why Black women feel the way they feel towards sex and the issues that they go through on a daily basis. So for us, we just wanted, especially as two Black women, to be a great role model for other Black women to see two sisters who are comfortable with their sexuality. Yeah. Right? Because I remember when I first started getting popular as a dom, and I got all these messages from sisters saying, thank you so much, like just to see another Black mistress. And I'm like, oh, honey, there's a few of us. But they just didn't know, you know, and like having representation is very, very important. So we have our own individual platforms. Scotty, as you know, does amazing work, amazing writing, where she does these reviews of sex toys, empowering women that it's okay to use sex toys. It's like giving permission, isn't it? It's like giving permission. Giving yourself permission. It's okay to talk about sex. It's okay to enjoy your sexuality and exploring it. And again, it's getting rid of all the ingrown messaging, isn't it? And actually, we've had quite a few guests on actually who have been Black sex educators and like the week. And there is, you know what I mean? It's like we get it bad enough as women anyway, but Black women have it because the sexualization of Black women is huge. It's huge. It's huge. And also, you know, the level of expectations as well. It's almost like they have this stereotype of what a Black woman is. You're exotic. Yeah. And we, you know, oh, so that means you must be great in bed. Oh, you Black? Yeah. Oh, that means you can twerk? Like, no, we're individuals, you know. And, you know, even just the other day, me and Scotty was speaking, even down to our hair. Like, we're not even allowed to wear our natural hair. There has to be laws passed. Like, people are protesting just so they can wear their natural hair to school. This is a problem. And then you wonder why black women don't feel comfortable or confident to wear their natural hair in front of their husbands or their boyfriends and to feel sexy with an afro. So we are on a mission to empower women all over the world, black, white, it doesn't matter. But for Ms., that is the space where we really want to show black women that they are equally as beautiful and equally valued.
Oh, I'm just going to answer. So a couple of people have asked about, a few people have popped up asking about the plan for KK parties. Do you know what? As soon as social distancing isn't happening, then we will be back.
I lost you. Say that again.
It's a KK question. A few people have like asked during the talk about any plans for KK parties coming back. So we can't. Do you know what? It's for us. It's all or nothing until there's no social distancing, and it's all or nothing. And also, you can't do natural, chilled sex spaces where you're just feeling uncomfortable if it's all sterile and PP'd up. You know what I mean? It doesn't fit. So for the moment, we're just doing all virtual, and we launched a new platform last week, and we've got a big app on iOS and Android launching, I think, end of next week, beginning of the following week. The Apple's just okay. So, but I've dusted off my Halloween outfit, and being the optimist that I am, I would like to go. That's what I'm aiming for. In me going, come on, Halloween is when we're going to be back. But who knows? Who knows on that front? Yeah, exactly. I'll be sobbing in the corner with a big bottle of wine when we do. when we are allowed back, that's for sure. But just finally, because I've just realised we're like pushing on. Because you've sort of learned, you've overcome, as you said, the bullying and just that being made to feel that you can't have a voice and you're different and you can't be that big personality. What tips would you give people for just owning their self-worth every day, just waking up, little things like the mantras and things of just giving yourself permission and the advice to get that ownership just by sort of everyday messaging?
So I'm quite a practical person. So everyone stand up. Okay. And you, Emma.
Okay, I'm putting my wine down. Hang on a minute.
Okay. So standing up nice and tall, shoulders back, core engaged, boobies up, hands on your hips. Okay, the storm pose. This has scientifically been proven that it will enhance your confidence. You stand in front of the mirror every single day.
I call it Wonder Woman pose, actually.
Yeah, they stole it from me, Emma. They stole it from me. Yes. Okay, so repeat after me. I am here.
I am here.
I am enough.
I am enough.
I am confident.
I am confident.
I am powerful.
I am powerful.
I am a woman.
I am what?
I am a woman.
I'm a woman.
Good. And you do that every single day in front of the mirror, and it will definitely increase your confidence. Also, what I find really powerful with my clients is when they write out statements. Okay, so if you want to grab a pen and paper, I can run something off the top of my mind for you. So I give you guys a couple of seconds to do that whilst I adjust my seat back. Drop me a storm emoji if you're feeling the live, if you're finding it powerful, if you're finding it inspiring. Let us know. We've created this space for you. All right. Okay. So a statement is something that you tell yourself, okay? Listen, affirmations won't work unless you believe in them. So I find that if you write a statement to yourself that has truth, then you start to believe the affirmations a bit more. So I am committed to growth and not perfection.
Nice. I like that. I'm writing it down.
Ladies and gents, make sure you write it down, because this is not planned in my head, so I won't be able to repeat it, okay? I give myself permission to be my true self. I will show myself compassion, love, and respect. I am committed to going through life as a journey of learning. I will continue to be a pupil and own who I am without any self-judgment. I will free myself from seeking outside validation and take the time to work on the things I choose to improve for myself. I understand the relationship I have with myself must always be the most valuable and powerful relationship that I have. I will forgive myself for the mistakes that I have made in the past. I will show myself compassion and unconditional love.
Got it. Mic drop.
Yeah.
Awesome. Do you know what? That was epic. I better say goodbye before Instagram just shuts us off. But
Okay. Just before
thank
we
you.
go,
Yeah.
make sure you get the new magazine. I'm in it.
Are you?
Yes, honey. Let me try and quickly get the page before we cut off. Bam! There I am.
Nice. I'm a dominant. Oh, good for you.
I'm a dominatrix by night. What does it say? I'm a dominatrix by night and a female empowerment coach by day, honey.
Good for you. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Emma, thank you so much for having me. I can't believe it's been an hour already.
I know, that's the thing. You can just talk and talk. That was awesome. So thank you so much. And
You're so welcome.
I will see you for drinks on the other side. Well, maybe
Absolutely.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Let's just use Boris's like 50% off. So that.
Absolutely. Have you recorded the live?
Yeah, it'll be going up straight. It'll go up straight away now, so you'll have it. Yeah, so it's all good.
Perfect.
So
Well, thank you so much for having me, and sending you love and affection.
Bye.
Bye.
She was awesome. I hope you're going away freaking owning it, everyone. Now, we will be back next week with more chats, and enjoy our new platform. Get on it. Give it any things that are annoying you, let us know. But yeah, just go and use the new platform and chat away and give us feedback. We love feedback. I'll see you all soon. Bye.